Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome back to Showbiz Shadows, where we dive into the darker side of pop culture and explore the twisted world of horror movies. Today, we're going to talk about a franchise that's sure to send chills down your spine: Final Destination Bloodlines. If you thought the original Final Destination films were terrifying, just wait until you hear about the 10 irrational things that will make your blood run cold in this latest installment. From supernatural forces to ancient curses, we're about to take a journey into the depths of terror that will leave you questioning everything. First up, let's talk about the concept of infinite loops. In Final Destination Bloodlines, our protagonists find themselves stuck in a never-ending cycle of death and rebirth, with each loop bringing new terrors and unexpected twists. But what's really irrational is the idea that our characters can survive an infinite number of near-death experiences without ever truly dying. I mean, come on, guys, how many times do you have to cheat death before it finally decides to let you go? And then there's the supernatural force known as the Devourer. This ancient entity feeds on human fear, growing stronger with each victim it claims. But what's irrational is that the Devourer doesn't seem to care about the number of victims. It just keeps coming back for more, like a bad penny. And why does it always target people in their most vulnerable moments? It's just plain cruel. But wait, there's more. In Final Destination Bloodlines, we also have the legacy of death, a concept that suggests the fate of one person can affect others across generations. Sounds spooky, right? But what's really irrational is that this legacy seems to be controlled by some sort of ancient prophecy, which is somehow tied to an old family heirloom. I mean, who needs a complex plot when you have a creepy artifact? And don't even get me started on the bloodline prophecy. This one suggests that certain individuals are destined to die in specific ways, based on their family history and ancestral sins. Sounds like something out of a bad horror movie, right? But what's irrational is that this prophecy seems to be influenced by something called karma, which means our characters' past mistakes come back to haunt them in the most creative ways. But what about the Reaper's Code? This ancient set of rules supposedly governs the behavior of the Devourer, dictating how it hunts its prey. Sounds like a clever plot twist, but what's irrational is that this code seems to be written in blood, literally. I mean, who writes a book in their own lifeblood? And then there's the psychic phenomenon, where our characters start experiencing strange visions and premonitions about their impending doom. Sounds like a classic horror trope, but what's irrational is that these psychic events seem to be connected to an ancient cult that worshipped the Devourer. We also have the sacrificial rituals, which involve human sacrifices to appease the Devourer. Sounds gruesome, right? But what's irrational is that these rituals seem to be based on some sort of twisted logic, where our characters are forced to choose who lives and dies in a series of impossible decisions. But wait, there's more. In Final Destination Bloodlines, we also have the cursed inheritance, where our protagonists inherit a mysterious artifact from their deceased loved ones. Sounds like a creepy plot device, but what's irrational is that this inheritance seems to be connected to an ancient curse that slowly drives our characters mad. And finally, we have the inescapable fate, which suggests that our characters are trapped in a web of destiny that they can't escape. Sounds like something out of a bad horror movie, right? But what's irrational is that this fate seems to be influenced by the Devourer itself, making it impossible for our characters to ever truly die. So there you have it, 10 irrational things to fear in Final Destination Bloodlines. From supernatural forces to ancient curses, this franchise has got it all when it comes to creating a sense of unease and dread. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of terror, folks. Until next time, stay scared with Showbiz Shadows.